but no band name is weirder than the others, and also you grow into it. I mean, the Stones and the Beatles are iconic because they are iconic bands.
What you think you'll grow into? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shuffle Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Treehouse Casino. I don't think they're gonna...
That's just made up!
Well, possibly.
Well, they all are,
but they
obviously.
All are. My point is, people say there's no logic to band names, but if you think a band name like the Smiths, that's genius. It sums up everything that band is about, you know, the kind of... They're capturing that mediocre world of grim up northness, you know.
My favourite, Sonic Youth.
Sonic Youth is genius.
Nirvana.
These are incredible band names, so there is some logic to it.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe. It's not just arbitrary words.
The Cure. The Cure. Again, they were never gonna be... They were never going to be world beaters.
But they were a comical band, essentially.
Yeah,
they were a knees-up party band, and Madness is fine for that.
But they had some great songs as well, and then it sort of turned it all, because then...
I mean, Rick, I don't know how many members...
Not Home Today is a great song, and
this is from an email. I don't know how many members of the band there are in Chimney Factory, but if there's 5 people, who decided? Have they all agreed? Yeah, that's the best name.
No, I decided, Dell.
Right.
He started the band and they rehearsed around his house, so Dale went, look, it's called Chimney Factory because my granny's doing it. They go, alright Dale, but it's not, I've got some other, but no, it's called Chimney Factory.
I own the van and the amps.
There's Paperclips gone, there's a band in Leicester called Paperclips. We can't, you know, we just argue over that forever.
And it's just, all I'm saying is think before you name your band, alright? Because it's never going to happen if you've got a comical band name.
There was a feminist band called Clitoris All Sorts, which is quite good, isn't it?
But you laugh, and then you just think,
yeah.
You know, I'm never going to have that on my t-shirt. Imagine that, Clitoris All Sorts.
It's that time of the day now, talking of that.
Yep.
Song for the Lovers.
Sure, it's beautiful.
Now, Steve, I mean, I will play great old tunes to the cows come home. We got to give them a little bit of Dandy Warhols and Air and Athlete. I know that, and they're great. They're good, right? But I wanted to play a Cat Stevens song, but I thought I'd better not because I've, you know, play that a little bit. And we quite like resurrecting old reputations, don't we? People like Elton John who had bad faces, or David Bowie.
People whose names now are largely laughed at in the serious rock circles.
Or people might not have considered. I thought Cat Stevens, oh no, Rod Stewart, I thought.
Well, see, Rod Stewart, many people now are thinking of the Leopard, Hot Pants, and Ludicrous
I think I'm Sexy, and all those sort of awful stadium sort of disco things, but he wrote beautiful tracks from Maggie May, and I thought, hold on, 2 birds with 1 stone. What about a Rod Stewart song written by Cat Stevens?
Wow. Is there such a thing?
The first cut is the deepest.
Let's hear it, Rick.
On this album as well is The Killing of George. Georgie Part 1 and 2, remember? About the gay bloke. Georgie Boy was gay, I guess. His favourite song. Carl's favourite song, right? And I was going, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. I said about, and I said, did not intend to take his life, he just pushed it when he gets mugged and killed. Do you know what he said? I was sitting outside, I was singing and he went, well, as I said, they go out too late.
They go out too late?
He meant gay people go out too late. He went, no, they do. What do you mean? He said, well, they're always out, they go out when people are coming home. He said, if he'd have been in bed by 10, he'd still be alive today.
That's a sobering lesson.
And he went, there's one that works here and he's shattered every Monday.
Oh, if you're gay and you're listening, just be in bed earlier. Go out when sensible people go out.
Yeah.
You're right, we're not on the continent, Carl.
If you're gay and you're not in bed by 10, go home.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
First cut is the deepest, Rod Stewart.
Song for the
Air, Don't Be Like, XFM, 104.9, 5 to 2.
Absolutely.
Ricky Gervais with me,
Steve Merchant.
Smirch.
Smirch.
The Smirch. And the K-Man. KP, Carl Pilkington, the K-Man.
Pressing the buttons.
Yeah. See that in Heat this week?
What was it?
About the campaign to stop Carl going back to Manchester. You know, because he's a miserable sort of northerner who goes, London's crap and I want to go back up north.
Yeah.
And I only need 40 quid a week to live up there like King and all that sort of rubbish. Right, well, Boyd from Heat, well, we met him at the that award ceremony.
Oh yeah.
And we were saying about, oh yeah, he really enjoys Carl. He's getting a lot of people like Carl. And I was going, oh yeah, but he's thinking of leaving. He's going, oh, start a campaign, and he did, and he put it in there. So the campaign. So write in if you like Carl. If you think he's really annoying, then we'll stop talking to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like him.
I love him.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the White Man the White Van Man column in the Sun, Carl?
seen it,
Are you
yeah.
familiar with this? This is where every day in the Sun they interview a guy who drives a white van, just, in order to get the kind of voice of the man on the street in the paper, and he has to answer, or just give his opinions, really, on events that have made the news each week. Just thought we could maybe throw some of these at you, Carl.
Go on.
Because we know to see what your views are.
Yeah.
So, just the first thing that comes to your mind, the sort of, your initial reaction to each of these.
All these, but you don't need to know about them, it's just your philosophy on it,
Yeah,
so,
just your views.
you know, yeah.
I have had a few days off this week, remember, so I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you stayed in London, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but you didn't bury yourself, did you?
I normally see the news, but I didn't this week.
Okay. So, what was your view on Will Young beating Gareth Gates in the final of Pop Idol?
Don't like him. You know what I was thinking about when I was watching it all the way through?
Yeah.
How he looks like he's got a wire coat hanger in his gob. That sort of...
Oh, again, it's radio, Carl.
Radio.
It's a great
The
face.
funny face you're pulling.
Yeah, and, a radio.
And that's a problem for you, is it?
And just the way he's from a really rich family. I opened up the paper on the Monday or something, and it had like, he went to a posh school and he's got loads of money already.
Yeah.
It's just a bit...
Key. Right, what's the second question?
There have been huge rises in street crime, especially muggings and carjackings. What's your view there?
More youth clubs are needed, aren't there?
You think more youth clubs?
I like that.
No? Okay.
I like that because it's so 1950s.
Yeah,
it's sort of like you want a Bobby on the beat that'll clip you around the ear.
So once they've come out of national service...
Yeah! No, I love that. And if you find someone smoking a wood bomb, you make them smoke 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is great. That is great.
Did you used to go to youth clubs?
Yeah.
And they kept you out of trouble?
You used to get into a fight afterwards when
Sure.
you came out.
But for the sort of hour and a half you were
You
there?
had a bit of pool and some boxing and a bit of pop.
Yeah.
So more youth clubs, that's good.
I love him. I love him. If you're at home, just make notes because this is brilliant stuff. Honestly, you won't hear more honest, from the heart stuff than this. This is great. Go on.
This is not pre-planned. These are your direct responses now.
I promise you, Carl did not know what we were going to do. He never knows what we're going to do, and he always answers honestly. That is the beauty of Carl.
What is
it's
your
not
view,
an act.
What is your view, Carl, on New York's former mayor becoming Sir Rudy Giuliani? Sir Rudy Giuliani.
Is he happy with it?
He appears to be pleased with it.
Let it go ahead.
Fair enough. Okay.
Go ahead. Oh, he's genius.
Okay.
Is he happy with it? He's like your nan.
Yeah. What do you make of Michael Greco's character Beppe being axed from EastEnders? Problem for you?
The whole soap thing. What's it's back in Coronation Street, isn't she? What's her name?
Who?
Lynn's. She thought she'd go off and be a bigger star.
Yeah.
All went wrong, and now she's coming back.
Yeah. Always happens, doesn't it?
Beppe will be back.
Yeah.
No one really cares.
Sure.
What was the van reply? That was the guy.
The White Van Man says, obviously they feel the character has run his course, but I think he's a pretty good actor and I can't understand why. So, I mean, obviously there's a White Van Man there who's also got an opinion on script development.
The through line,
the narrative through line of soap opera.
The 12-week narrative, the arc really showed itself up.
The two last ones I want your opinion on here. What do you make of a cat that's been cloned in a secret 2.5 million research project?
To find out what?
If they can clone cats, yeah.
Have they had to hurt it?
Sorry?
Have they had to sort of hurt it to do that?
Have they had to hurt it?
Yeah, or is it just scraping its tongue for some stuff?
I think the cat's fine. The point is that they're cloning another creature which is potentially very dangerous. Have you seen that film where they bring Hitler back?
That cat, what if that cat turned out to be a world dictator?
Exactly. What do you reckon of cloning generally, Carl? You concerned about it?
I think they're cloning for organs, they did grow them for the,
Do you know what cloning means?
Yeah, it's when you, like, make something else, that's the same, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to do any harm.
Okay. And,
Great.
And finally...
Put you on the World Council.
Yeah. Finally, what do you make of some city workers who were caught bonking in the glass lifts of the Lloyd's building?
What do I make of it?
Yeah. Is that a problem for you? Do you think that's unprofessional?
Was it the lunch break, or...?
I think it was lunch break.
Alright.
It's their own time, I think fair enough. It only takes 45 seconds to go from the bottom to the top. Is that a problem? They moved quickly. They acted, on instinct. Do you think fair enough? If that's their natural instincts and they're both consenting, you think fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much, Carl.
Thanks very much, Carl.
Carl, we'll have more of Carl's world-weary opinions next time on the show. Listen, I want to play a track that I love.
I can't wait for this track. It's by a great band. Just going to do it before Steve does this. Coming up, we're going to give away a great game. I'm sort of clearing out my flat. We're tidying up, and we've got a lot of junk there. And we're going to give away a great game coming up. You've seen it, Steve. You're excited.
I'm looking forward to that.
It's a board game that we're all going to sign. It's going to be signed by Jerv, Smirch, KP the K-Man.
From
so you could win that.
The classic album Copper Blue by Sugar. Listening to it again recently, reminded how good it was.
Yeah.
This is the track Hoover Dam. Play it.
White Stripes fell in love with a girl on XFM 104.9. It's 2:10. Right, okay, that's the first hour out of the way. Next hour, Steve, I've got a game to give away. As I say, I'm sort of cleaning out my flat a little bit, and we're going to throw away stuff. And I went to say, oh, whoa, don't throw that away.
Yeah.
I can give that away on the show because XFM don't give us anything to give away.
No.
Does anyone care what happens weekends?
No.
There's people coming here going, oh, he hasn't turned up, fiddling with stuff, fire alarms going off, the library. But we were looking for a track we played a couple of weeks ago on the same album, and it's gone.
Yeah, it's been pinched since we last played it.
This is I can't believe it, they're moving, that's like a tip out there, and I have to...
No, it is a disgrace.
It is. It is absolutely, it's disgusting.
How many of the DJs on this station have won multiple awards like Ricky Gervais?
Yeah,
How many of them are double award winning?
To have someone of my calibre. I hurt my ankle, didn't I? Moving a chair. I had to even move my own chair in here, and I hit my ankle. That'll teach me not to wear socks.
Yeah.
The socks were just taken out the sting.
I think just walking around barefoot generally is kind of London. You know, there's the needles, Rick. There's all sorts.
I know. Or that. Well, Posh does it in her video. She walks around barefoot.
Oh, you love
My
it.
heart's got a mind of its own.
Ricky absolutely loves the current Victoria Beckham.
Yeah,
film.
I know the sentiment. My heart's got a mind of its own. So like, doesn't matter what I'm thinking in my head. My heart says something else. Of course, what we did for last week was change the lyrics.
Just walked
As you
around
do.
for ages.
Does anyone else do that? Just go things like my wife's got a cock of her own. Things like that. And
Seriously, hours of amusement doing that.
just changing it. Just say
My knob's got some balls of its own.
We're doing that for a week. Meant to be working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were going to give away this game, Rick.
Yeah, it's called Donuts, and it's a game for 4 players, or 2 to 4
Have
players.
you ever played it yourself?
I watched, we sort of got it for a party, and I watched some people,
Can I try and sell it to punters who may...
Yeah, go on.
Play the part of a crazy donut-loving elephant in this hilarious game of fun and fast action.
Yeah. You put on a little elephant thing, and you have to pull up get up the donuts.
Brilliant. Can you be the first elephant to get all your donuts on your trunk? Be the first one... the first one is...
Sorry, this isn't a sex game, by the way. There's no euphemisms there.
Some of this is a bit slightly damaged, the packaging, that's why I couldn't read that.
You're joking?
Yeah. But don't worry, because you're not asking much for this, are you? We'll start at £5. Bear in mind, it'll be signed by double award-winning Ricky Gervais.
No, of course it's free. And, Carl went, have you got a question? I went, no. He said, well, something about the Elephant Man.
Something about the elephant.
Yeah, and I went, yeah. You know what, John Merrick? He went, yeah. He went, yeah, something about that. Awful, wasn't it? I went, you know where Michael Jackson actually bid for the skeleton of that? And he went, what, would the skeleton be affected? I went, without it grows, that's what happens, it's nice. And he went, you don't see any of that about these days, do you? And I just said, save it.
Although, of course, you have to put on these masks when you play Donutters, so in
Yeah.
a strange way, that looks kind of Merrick-esque.
Yeah.
And the game, Rick, I should just tell people listening, is Elephantastic.
It is.
It says that on the bottom.
It is Elephantastic. It is Elephantastic.
I mean, you yourself... Can I say a question, actually? This is a possible question.
Okay. Should we sign it first?
We should sign it, but based on the Elephant Man question, obviously, we all know who directed the Elephant Man film.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Parker. No.
David Lynch.
Lynch, of course, yeah.
But do you know who one of the people that got that film made was? He's a very famous comedian, executive producer. I think he was even the producer of it. And he's an famous American comic actor. You wouldn't imagine this was the same guy who is also producing a very serious, sober film like The Elephant Man. All right, we want to know who was that man.
It's a bit hard for that.
Well, yeah, but I mean that'll separate.
Bit hard for that.
Oh.
Have you seen anything else that's Elephantastic? Not even Wellephant was Elephantastic. He was Wellefantastic.
Rick, have you got any more memorabilia that you want to give to people? Maybe
get rid of.
Because I have to say, I've got
the council won't take it away.
I've got loads of junk in my house. I've got an old fridge freezer in the front garden. Anyone's welcome to come and pick that up anytime. I'll sign it for them.
But what about children climbing in it? That's not one of those with the handles, is it?
There's several children trapped in there. Yeah, but that's a sobering lesson.
You know what?
Council who won't come and pick it up.
It's a problem though, isn't it? Because you can't just
Smash it up. You're right. No.
I don't know what you meant to do.
Well, listen, right, when I was growing up, I remember the council used to charge £5 or something to take away, like, cookers and fridges, so my dad used to bury them. Down the bottom of my garden, I don't know, there's a cooker, there's a fridge, there's a freezer of some sort, there's a dog and a couple of cats. They were dead.
I'm not saying my father's quite a mean man, as you know, but my dad used to do that with dead relatives.
Yeah, because those funeral parties take the piss.
Very expensive.
So, a funeral can be, you know, up to 40 quid.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Whereas a shovel, borrowed off the bloke next door.
Yeah,
that's a massive saving.
And not given back, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, he's going to go soon. Was he going to say?
Okay, to win Donutters, signed by Mr. Ricky Gervais and 2 other blokes you've never heard of. Is that fantastic?
Yeah.
And the question is, what was the name of the famous comedian, American comedian?
Give out the number.
That produced, and had heavy production involvement in the film The Elephant Man. The email address is ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Carl, what's the phone number?
08700 800 1234.
Right, next up, we've had a lot of requests. Carl's popularity is growing. They want to hear his Super Mega Mix, the Britney Spears thing. Big it up.
Yeah, it's good.
No, tell us what it is.
Alright, it's Mark being Blade, the vocals of The Unknown, over Britney Spears. Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Let's hear it. It's highly illegal.
We're fantastic.
Go on then, back announce it, Carl. It's yours. Go on.
That's Mark being Blade there with a bootleg.
And what's it called? You called it something, haven't you? You cleverly called it something. What did you call it?
Nick this record one more time.
Good. Very good.
Carl Pilkinson there, breaking all kinds of copyright rules.
Now, coming up, we're going to be talking a little bit of Feng Shui, the art of moving things around so it's better.
The ancient oriental art of rearranging your living room.
Yeah, the ancient art of don't sit near a window.
Exactly.
Because you won't get any money for it. And we've got a book.
Well, we've been exploring Feng Shui for our amusement.
Yeah, and we're going to be reading some great things.
This is just good. It's good, solid Feng Shui advice for us.
I mean, what do you need to know? I mean, just keep those questions coming. If you've got any question for Carl, don't forget that's an ongoing thing. Anything in the world, any question, personal problems, philosophies, online, it can be out of it. Just ask Carl if you want. You know, just ask Carl. Okay. All right, Carl, you're up for that, aren't you?
Yeah. That's
and you give your honest opinion, won't you? Always.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should we give away Donutters?
Oh, it's been won. Who's won it, Carl?
Scott Hammond.
Well done.
Well done, Scott.
He'll be loving that. He's probably going to have a party, especially to play Donutters.
We've had a number of right answers, but I'm afraid Scott's the winner. And the question, of course, was which famous American comedian was heavily involved in the production of the film The Elephant Man? It was, of course, Mel Brooks.
Surprising.
And he's got a company called Brooks Films.
Our first person that called in, I think he was a bit confused. He said, "Is it testicles?"
Yeah.
When what? The producer went, testicles.
What was that illness years ago? Right, there was a couple of lads at our school.
Oh yeah.
Had really big heads.
Right.
And webbed fingers.
And webbed fingers.
And
sorry, wait. Well, hold on. Did you find him in a pond? Did they used to be little tadpoles?
No,
Carl, you're not confusing your past with an old episode of Doctor Who, are you?
What were they called, these two?
I didn't mix with them.
Right.
It was just like...
Of course not.
There was nobody thought anything of it at school. Cause
no,
like,
sure.
You used to it.
Yeah, it's the North.
There goes the creature from the Black Lagoon again.
yeah.
He's like brilliant at trigonometry.
He's late for double maths.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I didn't think anything of it.
What is it called? What is the disease called where two fellas... Are they...
Not even related.
Rubbish.
Not related.
Were you near a nuclear power station when you were growing up?
Yeah.
You weren't really?
Yeah.
God, this explains so much.
This has got a bit
I don't
heavy.
think that's it.
Hey, talking of enormous heads,
yeah,
you were at the Pop Idol final, weren't you, Rick? You went in there just because obviously Rick's a huge fan of Pop Idol. He wanted to be there. He wanted to give his support.
Quite seriously, there was no irony there. We were
he genuinely is a fan of it. And he was. You sort of had photos taken with various people.
Yeah, of course.
Because you were a bit drunk and you wanted to have a memento of it. There's obviously a picture of you with Fat Man Rick Waller.
Yeah.
But the best one is a picture of Ricky and his girlfriend with Dr. Fox, whose head
is twice the size of
any other head. It's quite remarkable. I don't know how they
barrel. He was a lovely bloke, and it was really nice to meet him and everything. But he looks like an immaculate tan, and he's always happy, and he's, you know, he's.
It looks
really
from the picture. It looks like someone you might see in a carnival who's built a huge papier-mâché head, and it just we're like Frank Sidebottom and just start walking on the road. It's just incredible.
Dr. Fox didn't used to go to your school, did he? He used to hang around with a mate. They were great swimmers. They were brilliant swimmers.
Oh God! Have we got another song lined up?
Yeah. What are we gonna play?
Bit of Pharomonge.
Bit of who?
Pharomonge.
Let's hear it.
Pharomonge, got ya. XFM 104.9. Well, as we promised, some Feng Shui. What do you want to know? Ratio of windows. It's one of those little books that you see at the sort of like the front desk of like Waterstones or Dillon's or one of those. And it's just it's a little guide. It's should I say what it is? I'm allowed, aren't I? Lillian Two's little book of Feng Shui, and obviously you can't go into it.